If there was one player destined to be the NBA's next star, it would be Dylan Harper. The number 2 overall pick out of Rutgers at 6'6", 215, Harper could not have ended up in a better situation to set him up for a lifetime of success within the NBA. First and foremost, look at where he ended up. Harper heads to a San Antonio Spurs organization that has a history of winning, and they have the future of the National Basketball Association on their roster. Victor Wembanyama, after 2 years, has already established himself as one of the best players in the entire league, and his rise to dominance, his trajectory to being an all-time great will continue here in 2025. You put any young guard in that situation, and especially one with the skill set that Harper has, and you put him on the floor with Wemby, man, the Spurs are thinking the exact same thing we as fans are thinking, that if Dylan Harper ends up being who we all think he can be, if Dylan Harper lives up to all the hype and he reaches his full potential, we might just get to witness another iconic guard big duo within NBA history. Yes, might be a stretch. We have yet to see Harper touch an NBA court. We have yet to see what he can do at the professional level. So no, I'm not saying we're about to see the next Shaq and Kobe. But the ceiling between these two guys is extremely high. I might be giving Harper some big praise here. I might be giving him a little bit too much credit before he even steps on an NBA floor. But honestly, when I watch Dylan Harper play, I see one guy and one guy only. I see a much larger version of Jalen Brunson. Maybe it's because they're both lefties. Maybe it's because they both light skinned. But if there's one thing that Harper has proven during his short time at Rutgers, is that he is going to find a way to put the ball in a hoop and do it at an efficient clip. Jalen Brunson, who is very generously listed at 6'2" time and time again, has us in awe of like, man, how do you continue to do this? How are you doing this amongst the best of the best? Getting to the paint with ease, finishing with that special left hand, making tough shots look like it's just another day in the office, on the court, in the gym by himself. I mean, Jalen Brunson does it time and time again, night after night. And when it's clutch player of the year, right? When the lights are shine its brightest, when it's time to really go, Jalen Brunson puts on a show. He does it out of isolation. He does it off the pick and roll. He does it from all 3 levels, 3-point mid-range to the basket. It doesn't matter. There's not one spot on the court that Jalen Brunson cannot score from. Plain and simple, he's one of the best in the game when it comes to taking that round orange ball and putting it into the hoop. Now imagine all of that. Imagine all of that, but at 6'6". But at 6'6", this is exactly what the city of San Antonio is getting in Dylan Harper. He has elite touch around the rim. He understands leverage. He understands where his defenders are at. He can score from all 3 levels. Again, 3-point midi to the basket. And unlike Jalen Brunson, Harper can actually play some defense. And at 6'6", playing the 1, you better be able to play some defense. You better be able to lock up the guy you're playing against night in and night out. Right? Harper averaged 19 points a game at Rutgers, and he did it in every which way you could even imagine. Very much like SGA, he's not overly athletic, right? But he has a variety of tools in his toolbox of which he likes to use to put the ball in the hoop. And a very underrated part of his game is his ability to distribute the rock, which is exactly what the Spurs are going to ask him to do. Is exactly what San Antonio is going to need him to do over the course of his career if he's going to be the Spurs' future one, right? Get downhill and find the big Frenchman we call the alien. Find number 1, find Wemby, right? Dylan Harper is going to a spot where at 19 years old, he's going to get to learn the game from one of the greatest point guards to ever play this game. CP3, Chris Paul, the point god. It is like a rookie quarterback coming into the league and getting to learn the game from Peyton Manning himself. One of the most cerebral assassins, just like an absolute student of the game that Chris Paul is, a lead general, a floor general, as he heads into year 20. As Chris Paul is heading into year 20, he's looking to end his Hall of Fame career, capturing the one thing that his career is missing, a championship ring. We know there aren't many people on this planet that love the game of basketball more than Chris Paul. So having the ability to mentor a guy like Dylan Harper on his way out could add some more fulfillment to an already Hall of Fame career. Harper will get to see firsthand how the game is seen from one of the greatest to ever touch the rock. And if I was Dylan, I'm on Chris Paul's hip the entire way. Every step of the way. I don't care if he's at breakfast. I don't care if he's in the hot tub, cold tub, sauna, butt naked in the shower. I am on Chris Paul's hip asking him every single question, picking his brain 1 minute at a time, trying to maximize everything I got. Because it may only be one season. It may be half a season that you get with CP3. He has to learn everything he can. And not only Chris Paul, right? He gets De'Aaron Fox to learn from as well. De'Aaron Fox, don't get it twisted. He may not have the accolades. He may not get the praise. His game may not be flashy. He may not have a whole bunch of all-stars under his belt. But De'Aaron Fox is simply one of the best or better point guards in the league today. I'll say better. Harper gets to see how these guys work. He gets to see how these guys operate on a day-to-day basis as floor generals. And this adds to exactly why whenever the time comes, whenever it is Dylan Harper's time to take over the helm and lead the San Antonio Spurs team, that he will be set up in a position to succeed in the best of ways, right? Because this is a Spurs team that has built themselves from the ground up, and you better believe that they have a plan for everything. And that plan includes Dylan Harper. They built themselves from the ground up, and now they're like, hey, it's time to make some noise. Right? It may not be a championship season right now, but it is time to make some noise in a stacked Western Conference. Best believe the NBA has a problem on their hands for years to come with the San Antonio Spurs, because that future is looking bright. Their future is looking bright down there. Stephon Castle has the potential to be one of the best two-way players in the entire game. His athleticism, his ability to score, and his size, having the perimeter defense that he does, Stephon Castle should be no time before he's an all-star. I already talked about Wemby. He's on pace to be one of the all-time greats. If he can just stay healthy, if he can just keep going, the league is in trouble. And it's only a matter of time. And if Dylan Harper can find his role, right? And I don't mean as a role player, but if Dylan Harper can see that I'm a distributor, this is my role within this offense and this team, and this is the vision that they have for us three as a big three moving forward, and he can prove that on a day-to-day basis from game to game. He has a high-level point guard IQ. We could see history in the making of what could be the NBA's next dynasty. You see, there's been some talk recently about whether or not the NBA was better off when they actually just had a few teams that ran the league. Was the NBA better off when we had dynasties running the game? Because numbers were up, storylines were made, and the NBA was more exciting and just consistent. Overall consistent, right? We complained. We said we're tired of seeing Golden State. We're tired of seeing Bron. I'm not gonna say we. I'm gonna say y'all. Y'all complain that we're tired of seeing Golden State. We're tired of seeing Bron. We're tired of these super teams and the same teams winning over and over. Well, guess what? Fans and media got what they wanted. We've seen 7 different champions in 7 straight seasons, and the NBA has never been more lost than it is right now. Ratings are down. Excitement surrounding the game has been the lowest I've ever seen it since I've been a fan. The NBA, the league itself, needs a spark. It needs a spark. It needs a hero or it needs a villain. It needs a storyline. It needs something that we can attach to and be consistent, that we can look to and say, hey, this is what we look forward to going through an 82-game season, right? That spark could come in the form of the San Antonio Spurs. A Spurs team that futures a big three of Victor Wembanyama, Stephon Castle, and Dylan Harper could be exactly what the NBA needs to bring juice back to the game. A roster that is set up perfectly to dominate for years to come, win a championship here within the near future. Dylan Harper might have just been that final piece to the puzzle. Yes, for the San Antonio Spurs team, he might have just been their final piece that they needed to get back to the winning ways, because between playing with Wemby and learning from CP3 and De'Aaron Fox, if Dylan Harper can squeeze everything he's got out of these next 12 months, again, it's like a rookie quarterback coming in. He doesn't have to play right away. He doesn't have to be this magnificent star that everybody's looking toward. If Dylan Harper can come in and learn everything he can over the next 12 months and really soak in the game and see the vision that he has, or that the Spurs have for him moving forward, not only could he be that final piece to the Spurs championship puzzle, but he could be one of the best point guards in the entire game.